Are you a pro wrestling fan? Then odds are at some point in your life, you were a backyard wrestler. In this new series, I'm going to take you through how we came from this to this. It's a long story, covering nearly 2 decades. But if you're a nostalgic person missing the backyard days of yesteryear and a simpler time of the 90s and early 2000s, this is the story for you. This is Backyard Wrestling Cinema. Welcome to Backyard Wrestling Cinema Season 5, Episode 10. Last week, we made the call that Mumbles would not win the world title for me at our big pay-per-view, Aftermath. But in making that decision, I knew I had to lose the belt. Otherwise, people were going to just assume I was politicking to keep the belt on myself. And I know that's ridiculous because it's a backyard wrestling belt. But it meant something to all of us back then. And this was we were in real danger of this becoming a mutiny. So we had a plan for what we were going to do on this show. First up was Super Sweet taking on Rico DMF in a match where Rico DMF transformed into his alter ego, Criminal Cage, after being annoyed by Super Sweet.
God! Oh.
Nearly took his chest off.
He just has no manners when he loses and it's over.
Rico DMF gets the win. We show a clip from earlier in the day. Christian Greed gets exposed that the whole public access spokesperson thing that he was trying to put out there, it was not true. He had no power at public access. TJ Money, the owner, as a result, was now going to shuffle around this entire card, and Christian Greed will now be in action. Also, Mr. Benjamins will get a shot at the world title after Denver Street had cost him the U.S. title last week at Aftermath. Mumbles, who was supposed to be the world champion last week, fights the U.S. champion, Homeboy Joe Slice.
So they were or they weren't? I'll tune in next week. That's the only way.
This match wasn't great, as I think we might have killed Mumbles' enthusiasm. Homeboy Joe Slice eventually gets the win.
Oh, he has a set. He has the hand lock. Can we be seeing it? Nails the drive-by. That's all she wrote, folks. Done. This should be it. 1, 2, 3. And still, you're United States champion.
There was a wanted poster for TJ Money, and TJ Money put Agent Bibbs on the case to find out who is behind it.
Garbage. Why would anybody want to take me out? Come on, everybody loves me. This is garbage. Oh, hey, what's up, Bibbs? Oh, just the guy I wanted to see. Hey, I got a little problem here. See, somebody's been sending around these flyers, wanted
Joe D and Just in Time are up next, and TJ Money, the owner, is the special guest referee. He had wrestled Just in Time and was sort of being his big brother in the weeks leading up to their Aftermath match. But during that match, he was jumped by his own bodyguard, Joe D of Misery. So it was kind of interesting to see where his loyalty was going to lie in this one. It was a back and forth after both guys had gotten some major wins in the weeks leading up to it, or near wins in Just in Time's case. In the end, TJ Money holds Jody's foot and fast counts Just in Time, giving him a big win.
Bodyguard, you?
You ain't gonna tell me nothing.
The owner. Tell the bodyguard.
I paid him, you count it. No.
Uh-oh.
What are you gonna do about that?
Oh my God. Okay, got it. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. I got you.
Afterwards, TJ Money lays out Joe D as revenge for what happened last week at Aftermath.
Oh my. It's an F. No, it's Lesnar. Oh my.
Once again, Just in Time catches Tommy Thunder with his sister, Mary Jane Time. He decides to drug him. He decides to drug him and his sister after he got some medicine from Super Sweet, who was not all there, let's say.
Oh, hi. Come on in.
Who's that? I'll teach him. Yeah, I need you to take these to Tommy Thunder's room.
Tommy
I'm
Thunder?
a secret admirer.
You don't know who I am, do you?
You can have one of that.
How about a hug? Hug? Now, do you know who I am now?
For your troubles.
Hey!
Christian Greed comes out next, and they don't know where Tommy Thunder is. They find him sleeping inside the house. They wake him up to come out and fight the MOD, the Masters of Disaster, which was the Beast and former OSA member, Hellspawn.
Hey, Slam. And
The meat hook for that Regal stretch. We call that one the meat hook. Any just
I don't know, from behind. It doesn't even affect Hellspawn. He gets up right away.
Now Hellspawn's gonna bring the pain. Oh no! Bring the disaster. That's what he gonna bring. You're gonna bring the disaster. Because he's the master of disaster. Oh, Tommy Thunder is sleeping in the ring.
Oh, I didn't see Tommy Thunder there for a second.
It's clear Tommy Thunder is off his game after being drugged. He tries his best, and Hellspawn is still reluctant to attack Tommy Thunder because they were once partners. But in the end, the MOD, Masters of Disaster, Beast and Hellspawn, get the win.
Hey, what's he going for? A powerbomb?
Here we go. It's the Hounds of Hell.
Oh!
And he nailed it. With hesitation from Hellspawn. Hellspawn slightly
Go for the cover.
hurt
That
one of the friendliest people in the old
three.
line.
After the match, to add insult to injury, Hellspawn steals Christian Greed's cane, the bird. We go to a clip earlier in the day before Tommy Thunder was drugged, where Tommy Thunder finds me in his bed and Christian Greed in his closet, and he is not in the mood to deal with either of us. And the idea was we were just kind of always annoying Tommy Thunder and always in his life and always in the way. TJ Money is backstage and he's hyping up Mr. Benjamin, saying it's his time to win the world title. Bibbs has the results, and he found out who is putting up those posters. It'll just take several weeks to get the DNA results back from the fingerprint sample he found. TJ Money is furious that it'll take that long because there's only 20 people on the roster. They immediately go right into a match. TJ Money gets the win.
Here comes the Lesnar! The Lesnar! He got it! Oh my God! That was Christian! Oh God! Drop the bombshells as of.
Next up, Mr. Benjamin's challenged me for the world title. It was one of those matches where you feel like your body and movements are 100% in sync with the person you're wrestling. If you've ever wrestled, you might know what I'm talking about. It's just this natural chemistry, and it comes from working together with people over the course of a long time and from being super familiar with their work. It's a weird thing to explain.
And Denver Street just opening up on. Going to work. Going to work.
As I said earlier, Mumbles was supposed to win the world title, and leading up to winning the world title, he had taken off his pants, he had left early a number of times, caused us to rewrite shows, was giving the middle finger, was constantly just causing problems on the show. And in our history with TJ Money, we knew that we couldn't expect his behavior to improve after we gave him the belt. He was supposed to be the example leading up to it. And I knew I couldn't hold the belt. I had to drop it, otherwise people were just going to assume I didn't want to lose it. So we held a meeting with all the higher-ups in B4W, the people I consider the higher-ups. And these meetings took place over a couple days because I couldn't get everybody all together at once. And the people I asked were Rico DMF, Tommy Thunder, TJ Money, Christian Greed, Homeboy Joe Slice, and Mr. Benjamin's. And the question was, after I laid it all out, do we put the belt on Mumbles, or do we change it up and put it on Mr. Benjamin's?
Benjamin's! Oh! Huge clothesline coming out of those. He's kicking him with that. Oh! Plants him with a DDT.
And after everybody heard my case, every single person said we should put the title on Mr. Benjamin's, with the exception of Mr. Benjamin's. And if you've been following this series at all, you know that when Mr. Benjamin's John Cording first started with us, it was very me-centric. It was, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to win? I'm never winning. He was the only person who voted for Mumbles because it wasn't him. It was in that moment I knew he was the guy.
Maybe reminiscent of his partner, TJ Money, because it took a lot to be TJ. Oh my God! Two street sweepers in the row. What? He can't even nip up.
But you know what? He can still go for the cover, and he can still beat Mr. Benjamin's and retain his world
Look how
title.
much it's taken out of him, though.
1, 2, Benjamin! Foot on the rope! Oh my God!
He went from selfish to selfless and had turned himself into a guy who never watched wrestling to someone who studied it and perfected it, at least at our level. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a lot of cool title switches in wrestling, be it as a wrestler, a performer, and a booker. And this one is just as special as any of them. And I can still remember the feeling I felt when I watched these clips back.
Oh! Benjamin catches, flips, kicks, stunner! Oh, shit! He's got it! Can he do it? 1, 2, 3!
We announced our live show just a few weeks prior, and we simultaneously found out that Ricky's parents, which is where we wrestled, weren't going to allow us to continue to wrestle there any longer. They kind of thought it was a fad or a phase, and we were all going to grow out of it, and here it had been several years, and we were still kicking around, and our roster was ever expanding. And I think they just wanted their backyard back. So we were losing the place we all called home. In addition to that, Tommy Thunder was joining the Navy. Bobby Bowe and TLD were going off to college, and we found out right before this match that Mr. Benjamin's was moving to Florida. We still made the call for him to win it, but things going forward were going to change forever as we headed into the biggest show of our lives. And we'll talk about all of it next week right here on Backyard Wrestling Cinema.